Hi everyone, this is Cherie from Paper Pieces and Leftovers. This is beer number 1. I'm cutting the legs, that way they don't overlap under the body because I don't want the bulge under the body right there. That's just my preference. You don't have to do what I do, but I mark it for you guys just so you can see where I cut it. And I labeled left and right, that way when I did cut it, it was on the correct side of the base. So this is bear number 1 from Franklin and Frannie S'mores, and I'm gluing the legs onto the base as I always start with the legs. I will have all the sizes in the comments under my actual post of all of the finished pieces, and it will be for the width and cricut design space. So after the legs go on, then the feet go on, and then the body, or you can do the legs, body, and then the feet. It's up to you. But as long as the head is the last piece, you're okay. Some people start at the top and work their way down. I start from the bottom and work my way up. And I just found that's easier for me. So after the legs, feet, and body are on, now we're gonna do the ears. 99% of the files, the smallest ear is on the right. The largest one is on the left. But I did do bear number 4 and found out that the large one was on the right instead of the left. So it did throw me for a loop. But this was one of the usual ones where it's on the left. So I started inking the head here and I caught myself. I was like, wait a minute, the ear pads. So I'm gonna glue the ear pads down and then the head. We make mistakes. Today was one of those days. But I fixed it. I spent all day making raviolis from scratch, including the dough. So trying to get this done and then do the voiceovers to get them up for everybody, my brain just was not functioning because I even put the arms on before I finished the face, which I don't ever do, but I did for this. Both of these arms go behind the body, and I know that for a fact because he's going to be holding a chocolate bar. So now I'm going to be doing the muzzle and then the nose. Every time I see Franklin, it makes me just want to go through other files and see which ones I can replace the kids or the animals or pets with Franklins with. I've done it with a few and I love it, but we'll just leave well enough alone. So now for my mouth, I use my Micron 005, and that's because it's a super fine line. There is a black circle in the file that you can cut out if you do not want to do the circle on the mouth. I don't know why I do it and I don't cut the black circles out because I cut them out already in white, or even if I use the white one and colored it black. So I used a metallic silver paper that I got from Hobby Lobby, and then this is my chocolate colored cardstock. And what I did is I took the word chocolate and I cut it out on an extra piece of paper to use as a guide. That way my word was even, and I ran all the small letters through my Xyron sticker maker, which I'll show later in the video. So there's my word chocolate. I'm gonna line it up with the brown piece and it's just held down by the Cosmic Shimmer glue. And I cut all the little letters out in silver. I could have done it in white, I could have done it in a bunch, but I just kept it with silver. So I'm putting all these inside of the piece as a stencil, and you'll notice that the L is missing. It disappeared. It's stuck to something, don't know where it is. I'll find it later, or whatever I do with these pieces, it's going to be on the back of a piece and I just haven't caught it yet. So I'm carrying on, not noticing that I'm missing the L yet. And I'm laying all these in, and they go in very smoothly. All I did was center it in Cricut Design Space and cut it out after I centered it, and that way it was the same size, and the letters just lay right inside of that. But I did pause here in just a moment, and you'll see that the word moved, but that was because I had to cut out another L, and that was just by contouring the word. So I didn't end up with a whole chocolate word again and having almost a complete another word minus the L. So we just cut out the L, that way I could fill it in. And I'm gonna peel off that part that I used for a stencil. My glue wasn't dry yet, so I just wanted to make sure that the piece hadn't shifted. And I'm gonna glue the back of it and set it on his tummy. And then put his hands over the corners and add my white little accents to it, and it'll be finished. He went by very quickly, but when I have words like that, I make stencils. That way I could lay them inside so they're even, because I don't want crooked letters. That's just me. It doesn't matter if you guys put them on crooked. This is just my preference. Extra work. Just like making homemade raviolis tonight. They were good. My husband loved them. My kid loved them. But I spent probably 4 hours cooking. And one of the girls from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop said she did it too, and they didn't end up eating until 9 p.m. Good thing I started at noon. Dinner was done a little after 4, but I usually start between 2 and 3 because my husband gets off early. Dinner would have been very late, so she was right. So adding all the accents, and then I'm gonna put my pan pastel chalk on the nose, the hands and the feet, and the piece is finished. And I'm gonna do a voiceover on the last little guy and put up the finished set on my page here momentarily. Have a good night, guys. Thank you for following. Any questions you can leave in the comments or send me a message directly on Paper Pieces and Leftovers Facebook Messenger. And I do get back to everybody fairly quickly.